believe it. I told you not to push yourself, but you're trying too hard. Come on, just throw away this bland homemade food. By the way, what about the sushi? You said you were going to order takeout, right?
Caleb looked around, searching for the sushi.
I'm sorry, Mom. I wanted you to come to the city and try some delicious sushi. Luna has been saying that her taste buds have been off lately, so I think she made this bland dish. Oh, let me help you clear the table,
he said, as if playing the role of a good husband. I was amazed by Caleb's attitude, which seemed to suggest that everything was going well. At the same time, something bubbled up from the bottom of my stomach. Caleb, did my mother really cook something this awful? I glared straight at Caleb. Caleb instantly froze, his face showing that he knew he was in trouble.
Luna's mom is a nutritionist, you know. It seems she's been making lots of low-sodium, additive-free dishes for Luna, who's been feeling unwell lately.
Caleb faltered, under the condemning gaze of my father-in-law. This humble, plain, homemade dish. I'm sorry. Did it seem so meager that it needed to be thrown away, Caleb? My mother sighs, and my mother-in-law looks at Caleb with eyes that seem to be on fire. With angry stares from all sides, Caleb finally began to make up for his blunder.
It seems like I made a little mistake. That's impressive, huh? It feels like even the nutrition is calculated perfectly. Yeah, it's perfect.
My mother, of course, did not accept the compliment, and my parents-in-law's anger gauge seemed to go up even higher.
Don't try to cover up with half-hearted excuses. Where have you been all this time? What have you been doing?
Surely, if it weren't for the children sleeping soundly, this would have been a major scolding. My father-in-law's voice was kept low so as not to wake the baby, but it was stern enough. Like a frog stared down by a snake, Caleb broke out in a cold sweat.
I heard you haven't been participating in household chores or childcare at all. Not to mention you're adding more burden with your antics today. Aren't you embarrassed?
With each question, my father-in-law cornered Caleb more and more.
Huh? Oh no, that's just Luna's imagination, probably.
Caleb was desperately trying to escape, but the ones in front of him were his own parents. They knew him inside and out. My mother-in-law dropped into Caleb's palms the earplugs that were now lying in his bedroom.
Where are the parents who sleep with earplugs in their ears because their children are crying too loud?
My father-in-law's eyes widened in surprise.
Well, wait, Dad. Hold on, it's not like that. This isn't about that. You're so shameless. I told you I heard.
As Caleb stumbled over his words, my father-in-law produced what looked like a glasses case, but it was actually a voice recorder. From there, the exchange between Caleb and me from the previous day began to play.
Noisy. Ugh, so noisy. Really, I screwed up. Seriously, marrying someone like you was a mistake. You really can't do anything, can you? Do you even have any motivation? Ugh, why would something like that, Luna?
Unbelievable, I said to Caleb. He looked at me with eyes that said, I've never seen anything like this before. Caleb gets upset if I'm sick and miss an introduction or forget something. So since I was pregnant, I've been recording our conversations and replaying them when my mind is working a little better. Yes, I was distracted by the headaches and tinnitus when I suffered from it. But Caleb hates that kind of thing. So from about the time the morning sickness subsided, when Caleb would start talking, I would record the conversation. As Luna's mom, I care about her, but it's hard to watch her struggle with twins. Feeling unwell and not getting help from her partner, who keeps complaining. I was shocked to see her face after such a long time. She looked bruised and swollen, with dark circles under her eyes. She doesn't even have the strength to hold the baby properly. She wobbles when she walks. It seems like she needs hospitalization, even though she doesn't look too bad. A small scream came from the back of Caleb's throat at my mother's anger.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Even if you're a parent, please enunciate properly. Caleb was cut off sharply by my angry mother, leaving him speechless.
Luna's mother is right. I have already made arrangements for her to be admitted to a hospital I know. Once you've enjoyed the heartfelt meal, take Luna to the hospital. Make sure to take good care of the children."
Upon hearing my father-in-law's words, Caleb visibly turned pale.
"No way. That's impossible. There's no way I could do that. I've never done it before. But Luna, it's not that bad, is it? I'll start paying more attention to your health from now on, so why don't you stay home?"
Caleb says with a hint of desperation, but he's cut off by my mother. "Did Luna say the same thing to you? Even though she's never taken care of twins, there's no way she can do it, right?"
"What? That kind of reasoning makes sense. Ah."
Caleb realizes his mistake and tries to cover his mouth, but it's already too late. "Yeah, that's right. There's no way that reasoning would hold, right? Because she's the mother, it's natural for her to take care of things. Didn't you say that? Then it's the same thing. You're the father, right? Now who should take care of the kids while the mother is in the hospital?" Like a school teacher questioning a student, my mother cornered Caleb.
Me?
There was no way I could have responded otherwise.
"Well, it's understandable that you can't suddenly take time off work, so your mother said she'd help during the day. She'll stay overnight just in case. But fundamentally, you need to manage on your own." Dad? Don't make that pitiful voice. You, think carefully. Your work, including commuting and breaks, is roughly 10 hours a day. Childcare, on the other hand, is 24 hours, no days off. Moreover, if we compare childcare to work, it's like having normal duties with unpredictable additional tasks, and even dealing with troublesome complaints. You can't set your own pace, and there's no time for breaks, let alone meals or sleep. Considering Luna's condition, it's safe to assume that she might even have the flu."
My father-in-law's explanation was so spot on that I couldn't help but be impressed. Exactly. My life for the past month has been a perfect match for my father-in-law's analogy.
What are you saying? Stop whining. You should experience it firsthand. You're just doing what you used to push onto Luna alone. Are you really that unwilling despite being a father?
When Caleb, with teary eyes, was admonished by my father-in-law, my mother also backed him up. "If you don't like it, then you can't call yourselves a married couple anymore. Luna, it's okay to divorce and come back. Once there's a baby and things get lively, the house will also become lively."
"Divorce? I won't be able to see my adorable grandchild anymore. Are you really going to be so unfilial?"
During this impressive exchange, Caleb looked pale and broke into a cold sweat, showing a busy range of facial expressions.
"Luna."
Caleb looked at me with teary eyes, but I had reached my limit too. "I think you will have an easier time than I do, because you don't have to take care of me while I'm in the hospital. Isn't it a bit easier to not have to cook for a husband who's always late and just complains about small stuff?"
"Ugh."
Seeing Caleb make a strange noise, I chuckled. A little bit of payback would be nice. And at the hospital, where I was hospitalized, I finally got a good night's sleep after a long time. When I woke up, almost a whole day had passed, and I was surprised that I still felt like I could sleep. During my hospital stay, I learned that breastfeeding wasn't a hardship, but a way to nurture affection, as my mother-in-law brought the children every day. Meanwhile, Caleb was running around with my mother-in-law's constant support.
"Luna, when are you coming back?"
With the twins in his arms, who couldn't stop crying, Caleb said,
"I need you."
in a way I hadn't heard since before we got married. "You shouldn't make them cry. You're their father." When I said that as a retort, Caleb rolled his eyes. After rest and treatment, my health improved considerably. When I got back home with my mother-in-law's thankful but strict help, Caleb slowly learned to handle the twins, even though it was a bit awkward. And following advice from our families, I had Caleb sign a divorce paper at the start of the year, just in case. If anything happens, we'll divorce right away, and I'll go back to my parents' house and claim compensation from Caleb. I hope to continue living in a way that avoids the need to submit those papers.